Yeah, I mean,
This guy.
only have the.
Dude, also keep in mind, this is a
So we can't
series.
use the 300 series at the minute. It has not been implemented into this build. I can't show you that. I'm sorry. I can show you one of the new Reliants, so we can take out one of the the new Reliant things. So we'll have a look at the Mako, which is the news van.
Sell them just to get some time.
I mean, I'll probably end up eventually just upgrading them to like.
I was asking if there was a jump town on any of the new moons.
Oh yeah, they don't tell us about that, even if there is. That's something that players have to find. There's apparently a bunch of them that we haven't found over in Hurston. One of the moons has some over there, but no one's found it yet.
Well, hopefully my payment goes through and I can get access to the pt2.
So it only has one kind of camera boom looking at it from here. I haven't seen this ship yet, guys, so...
You have to rebind it.
You
can no longer do it in third person, at least that I've found. I bound it to mouse wheel.
I'm talking about the star map.
Oh, it double left click, or it might be right
this
click
I didn't
now.
know about, so it's got beds and like a comm station.
Right, but like if I'm trying
Let's
to
get this thing into
to
space so it doesn't vanish, and then we'll have a play.
I either am zoomed in all the way into Port Olisar, or I'm zoomed all the way out the star map.
You just have to double click the planet or the moon and it should bring you up to.
Right, what I'm getting at is I can't select the planet because it's zoomed out all the way, or it's taking me forever to scroll all the way out.
I don't know then. We've reported it, so we're just gonna have to let them know and wait for them to fix it. You can confirm the bug report. I think they've all been made public. Just type in star map zoom for keyword and it should come up.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll just test out the hover bikes at Delmar, because at least I can select that.
I can't believe they broke ArcCorp. Like, that was the jewel. It was fine 24 hours ago.
Okay, so they haven't added the camera mode, as you can see, but they have changed the co-pilots thing. This is something I did know about. So now a co-pilot has a lot more function, as you can see. So back in the Reliant here, the co-pilot can see everything that the pilot can do. And short of flying the ship, they can do everything that the pilot can do. So they can use the comms, and you know, they can change weapons around, and they can talk to people. So there's a bit more usage there.
They don't do any freaking damage.
Bob, is that a console of which ship right now?
I bet you this top turret would be very effective.
Were you in the Hurricane?
Yeah.
It's a fucking monstrosity that is.
I'm gonna go ahead and kill me, G-Lock. This is fucking stupid. These guns are terrible.
And as we said before,
turrets are probably gonna be
you can see now that when you quantum drive down to a location, you appear a lot lower in the atmosphere. Well, I say you appear, you stop a lot lower in the atmosphere than you did previously.
I think
Well, I've just exited my ship, there you go.
I'll come pick you up, Donald. We'll give it a try.
Fuck! I thought, oh no, what's going on? I was trying to lock missile. I have no, like, all my key bindings are screwed. The fuck? I can't fucking get out.
Can't get out at all.
So W and S do actually make you go backwards and forwards now. As you can see, you don't have to use 2 and 3 if those are your default keybinds.
Huh. Would you believe that? Right, 1 second. Means you're sorting that out.
I'll go land on one of the pads.
Oh, missed it, you bastard. God damn it, can't even kill myself.
A little bit glitchy because it's bouncing around on the new gear. You can see that they've changed the Reliance now so that they have the suspension and the landing gear as well. They're moving all the ships over onto that.
But you don't have the. I mean, you should be able to get out and.
It's just too much like hard work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was able to get out.
Thank you guys.
We have to take the Star Kitten one out, don't we? Whilst we've got access
Oh,
to
that
it.
took forever.
I don't know. Yeah, dogfighting is so freaking.
My hand's cramping up.
It's like, oh, I see you over there. You're moving very slowly, and I'm just going to try to shoot you. Dude, you can't land. Oh, you gotta move forward. A little more. Alright, that should take it straight down.
Oh, fucking hell.
Okay, let's see how this does.
With fucking keybinds and buttons that I don't even know what. There you go. I do. Okay.
Just like that.
Okay, so this is the same. You have to press C to activate cruise control,
Right,
otherwise
guys,
it
have a good
slows
night,
down on
have
its own.
fun, and see you tomorrow.
Alright, we'll see
See
you
you.
So later, Warlock.
See you.
Yeah, see you, Warbot.
See you, Wilbur.
I'm heading out too. They're gonna have to do another patch before I'm gonna play anymore. They screwed this one.
I just want to get the Art Corp, and then I think I'll be done.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels very different going over obstacles. So you can see when I'm going over rocks and things, it's kind of dipping, diving.
I don't think you're gonna get into ArcCorp tonight, man. I've been trying for the last couple hours. Even if you do get it to respond, it's gonna kill you because there's invisible no-flies.
Maybe it's just that ship.
What ship? I've tried like 4 different.
Hey, so still not perfect.
There we go. Stupid thing.
Alright.
Spam the button. So you try not to eject.
See you, man.
Night.
Alright.
So you can see when I'm going up hills and such, so when the elevation of the ground changes, it reacts a lot more like what people were wanting it to now, where it feels like it's got invisible wheels, if that makes sense. And it doesn't just kind of, you know, slide all over the place. Can you see how it's pitching and diving as the elevation changes? Definitely feels a lot different and like it's got invisible wheels.
That was awesome.
Back in.
Hang on. I'm bugged.
Uh-oh. What now?
I'm bugged.
What?
The view. What the fuck is going on here? It's like I'm sat in here sideways. Let me hop out and come back in, mate.
Yeah, just hop out.
So it looks like you gotta basically sit straight. And you click.
Yeah.
Frame rate on ArcCorp is kind of the same as it is on Hurston around Lawville. So if the stream lets you, you can go back because we were flying around ArcCorp and Area 18 earlier on. So the Dragonfly, at least, even though it's the slower of the two GravLev bikes, it feels a lot better to fly. Even though I'm like bumping into things because of the way that the GravLev now is responding, I think this is going to be a positive change for people. People are going to like it. Already I can see that it's a lot more of a...
Turrets on?
it's more responsive, I think is the better way of putting it, compared to the old style of flying where it was kind of... It felt very much like a hovercraft, you know, you tried to turn and nothing happened, whereas this, it feels a lot more responsive and controllable.
Switch gyro mode.
Do you think they'll do a limited ship sale? Absolutely. They always do with the the new launches, don't they? But it will only be the specific ships for 3.5. So that will be the new 300 series again, and the Reliant series. And is that all of them? I can't even remember the roadmap. There's the new Tumbril, not Tumbril, sorry, the St. Patrick's Day version of the Ursa Rover, but that's already been on sale. I think that's it, isn't it? There we go, that took a minute to kick in. Yeah, so the Nox is definitely quicker. This feels a little more out of control compared to the Dragonfly. Even just this like first few seconds of flight.
I mean, what are they trying to accomplish here?
Yeah, it's the pt2, it'll break.
Yeah, I think this is what they're. I mean, this is what they want.
Yeah, this is very, very squirrely is the term I would use to describe it. It's a lot more shaky than the Dragonfly.
Alright, Donald, where you at, man?
Still an improvement because, again, you can see by the way it dips and bobs as the terrain changes, it feels like it's got, when it's closer to the ground, it's like it's got invisible wheels, which is what a lot of people wanted.
Oh yeah, there you go, use mouse and key. Doesn't matter.
That's another thing I have just noticed as well. So I've just noticed something on the GravLev bug vehicles now. They show the locations of bases and shelters and things on the hood again now, so you won't get lost.
Oh, that's nice.
Right, coming to you.
I think the Gatling guns do a little more damage. So yeah, I would not use the what do you call it, the gyro stabilization mode on the fighter. Because you want to be pointing where I'm pointing. You know what I'm saying?
I thought I'd give it a try.
You see that just like trying to do donuts on the pad here. When I stop, this thing stops so much faster now.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head out tonight. See you guys.
Yeah, good night, brother.
Right.
Yeah, we are locked onto
The only thing here is that when I'm going at full speed like this, so my hands are currently holding down W and left shift, so I'm accelerating, and if I let go, it will stop almost instantaneously because you have to hold the throttle now. So now I'm just holding W, but if I press C, it will engage cruise control, and you'll see that I don't have to hold the key. That's how the throttle works now. You can rebind all the keys obviously, but the flight model changes how you accelerate and decelerate and how you set max speeds and things.
That turret gun sounds awesome.
That looks intimidating.
One added bonus of the new change for this sort of GravLev flight model is that it makes a bit easier to fly using first person, I think, now. Before, the controls were so wild that you couldn't see what was going on if you were, you know, especially if you were trying to use head tracking or something, you get ridiculous motion sickness. But now you can see it, you can see a lot more of the ground with this flight model because it levels out in the air like this, whereas before it used to just swing around wildly. So you can actually drive this thing in first person instead of having to constantly go to third person and watch where the ground is before you go slamming into it. And let's see how this thing handles in this new flight model. Median frame rate is probably so low because this is my lowest spec machine I'm playing this on and I am streaming, so it's this computer isn't the best for this game. But at the end of the day, I want to try and keep it, you know, realistic. I don't have, you know, a batshit insane CPU with a 2080 Ti. It's better to try and play it on a lower spec machine as a realistic view of performance rather than something that's going to run at 4K 120 FPS, you know? Okay, I pre-apologise if I make a huge mess of this and crash, because it's entirely likely to happen. That was strange. So you can hear how the afterburner is stopping and starting and cutting out because the systems overheat pretty quickly. You can see that in my HUD it's saying that my systems are overheating. You can't just spam the afterburner now and hope for the best. Atmospheric physics in the M50, they feel good. It's different, it's definitely a change from what it was before. So I'll come to a stop and I will go from scratch. So for the people who joined later and didn't notice, they've changed how you throttle now. So on the left you can see this big dial here, and if I let go of F again, you can see this thing moving on the left, and that is your max speed. It's like a throttle limiter. So regardless of how long you hold down the W or the afterburner, which is left shift by default, your ship will not go above that speed. So you can see now it's quite low and it's limiting me to 180. Even if I press the afterburner left shift, which I'm doing right now, it's not letting me go any faster because that's what the speed is limited to. So now if I stop, if I let go of W, you can see that my ship comes to a complete stop now. You have to hold the key to keep moving unless you press C, which engages the cruise control. So I'll crank the max speed indicator all the way up, as you can see, and now this thing's just going to keep going. And this is just on normal throttle, so this is just the thing working on its own with boost, but if you press left shift you get the afterburner. And you can see that lasted about 3 seconds before it overheated. So they still have some issues to work out with the afterburners and how the engine cooling works now, because it's not as effective as it was before. Ooh, yeah, nearly. As for the control, so how this thing is flying, it's definitely, it feels a bit more drifty than it did in the previous flight model. The M50 was, you know, it's meant to be agile as hell because it's a racer and it's an interceptor. But, like, I'm going full tilt now trying to turn, and you can see this thing isn't wanting to turn at all, and I'm actually redding out. Oh, they've changed the effects for that, that's not nice. So I've set the throttle to the max, I'm holding down W and it's going at kind of what the normal atmospheric speed is now. If I press C again, like I did in the other vehicles, you can see the little arrow has appeared next to the max throttle indicator, and that means that your cruise control is on. So now I'm not holding W, I'm not holding S, but I can still bank and turn. The throttle is fixed, and now the ship will always try and fly at max speed, which could be good if you're trying to get away, but if you try and make turns and things like that, obviously your ship isn't going to perform very well because it's just trying to go fast constantly because you've got the cruise control on. These are all things you're going to have to get used to. How long to leave the planet? Let's find out in the M50, shall we? So this thing will go a lot faster within the atmosphere now because of the afterburner mechanic. So we'll point it towards the sky. Afterburner on. And you see it's just screaming away, basically. I should point out as well that in the previous builds you had W to accelerate and then X was your boost, so you had a boost with X and then you could hold left shift for your afterburner. In this build, X is your space brake, so it will slow you down, so that's another thing to get used to, or rebind. No, Ghost Dog planets have different atmospheres. I think Daymars, if I remember, starts at 70. I know Hurston starts at 100k. I don't know what ArcCorp's is. That was like less than a minute, and we're well outside of the atmosphere. So you can see the new flight model has changed how ships perform now, especially things like the M50, which, let's face it, is a pocket rocket. So, are the engine effects missing? Blatantly, because I don't see any flames. Maybe on the M50, they haven't put them back in yet. You know, this could be something that's also affecting some of the other smaller ships. Maybe the new 300i as well. We don't know, do we?